or welcome back to my channel. My name is Sabrina, and in this week's video I'm just going to be trying to get a little bit more into the fall mood. So what that looks like is I'm going to be going to Spirit Halloween, Michael's, maybe Home Goods. I don't know, the lights are horrible in there. I actually hate going into Home Goods, but sometimes they have some really cute stuff I like to look at. I'm not trying to go like on a full shopping spree or anything like that. I just kind of want to look around, get in the vibe, things like that. But I do have two things that I for sure want to get today, and that is one, a book, and two, a cute candle. Over at Michael's, I saw that they have like this bone-shaped candle that I'm really intrigued by and I would like to get if they have it in stock. Last year when I went to Spirit Halloween, I went like closer towards Halloween time, so all the stuff that they had, like the t-shirts and stuff, were really running like bone dry at that point and didn't have a lot of things in stock. So I would like to try to get there a little bit earlier. Even though I probably won't buy anything, I still want to see what they have in stock. And for the book that I want to get, it's actually a werewolf book, and I am not a werewolf person whatsoever. I typically avoid werewolves with every fiber of my being, unless like they're just kind of there and I have no choice but to read about them, as long as they're not the love interest. That sounds horrible, I know. I really love like vampires and stuff. I've always had a thing for vampires, and it's kind of weird because New Moon is my favorite Twilight movie. But it's not because she's spending more time with the werewolves. If anything, I liked learning a little bit more about them and certain characters I really enjoyed. But the reason why it's my favorite is because it's so moody and I love the playlist so much. Wanting to listen to a Twilight soundtrack, New Moon is the one that I pull up. I mean, the song Possibility is in there. That's one of my favorite songs. It's so good. The reason why I have a hard time with like werewolves is because of the way that they're territorial. I feel like it's weird because I read dark romance occasionally, not all the time, but like I haven't actually picked up a dark romance book in a while. I enjoy reading dark romance books, and the guy's always like super territorial of her, like in like those fun little fae books as well. Whenever he's like, don't touch my wife, like those types of things I live for. Well, actually I started reading a dark romance sapphic book, but then I was like, oh, I'm actually not in the mood for dark romance, so I stopped reading it, but I would like to pick it up again eventually. But yeah, like there's always that character in there and I love that. But then I'm like, I look at werewolves and I'm like, no, I think I just need to give them another shot, to be honest, because I haven't tried reading a werewolf book in like over 2 years actually, if I'm not mistaken, and I kind of just always held on to that no, not werewolves, yes to vampires type of mentality without ever trying to just give it another shot. So that's what I'm gonna do now, is give it another shot. Hopefully my mind changed. I don't know, I guess we'll find out and see. Maybe it's because they turn into a wolf. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's a like, ooh. Anyways, that's the plan for like outside activities. As for inside activities, I'm going to make a tbrjar because I have a lot of books I really want to get through, and I go into some type of like paralysis almost, where whenever it comes to like having to make a decision, I just kind of like freak out when I have too many choices. And I like to either go on Instagram and post in a story like, okay, pick my next read, or do like spin the wheel and stuff like that if there's multiple books in the same mood genre that I'm in, because I am a mood reader at the end of the day. So it's like I'll have maybe 2 or 3 books that I'm in the mood for, but then I'm like, oh, I don't know which one to pick up, so I'll just struggle with that. So hopefully this tbrjar will help me a bit, but I'm also not going to put all the books that I want to read in the tbrjar so I can have some sense of control myself. Oh, and then before I forget, actually, a couple days ago, I made a new Kindle insert. This is the one that I was using before. It's cute, it's pink and green, love the vibe. But I also wanted to do a little bit of something different. And when I tell you, it took me hours to finally come down and decide on something. Printed out, loved it. I have a Kurami chain and a pop socket as well that's like purple with flowers. So that's another reason why it took me so long to decide on what to go with, because like I didn't want my pop sockets to like, or like my little things to stand out so much. And unfortunately the flowers do stand out quite a, like the pop socket thing does stand out quite a bit. I don't want to go buy another pop socket unless it breaks. Then yeah, I'll go get a new one. But if it's not breaking, then it's fine. I can just change the Kindle insert and work with what I got instead. This is what it looks like off, like outside of the Kindle. And this is what it looks like on the Kindle. I like it a lot. I think it's really cute. I feel like I should have switched the Barbara and the Spread Love, Read Books, and Stay Spooky. Like I should have switched that around because my Kurami thing is right in the middle of the words. Going back to the tbrjar jar, I have a list here of everything that I want to work with. I have it all separated: Kindle Unlimited, the Libby app, and then Everand. And then I also have the books that I intend on purchasing, but the thing is those books are not out yet, except for the one that I'm going to go buy today. When those books come out, then I'll put those in the jar. But also my Everand subscription has not re-uploaded yet. I have a couple more weeks until it does, so the books that I want to get are not available for me to listen to right now. So whenever that subscription is ready, I'll put those books in. As for my Libby one, I have one currently available, and that is Terror at the Gates. And then I have Blood on Her Tongue, A Treachery of Swans, and then Vampires of El Norte. Those are all holds, so they're not ready yet, but whenever they become available, I'm just going to go ahead and read them, so I don't want to put them in the jar. It just doesn't make sense for me to do that, honestly. I'm just going to go ahead and put the ones that are already available. But let's go over the books that I am going to be putting in the jar for today. So I have The Poisoner, Anathema, Enchantra, Juniper and Thorn, Six of Crows. I don't think that's Halloween-y or spooky, but it's just a book that I feel like I should give another shot at, because they DNF'd it like 3 chapters in. Anyways, Labyrinth Lost, Throne of Secrets, Deceit. I can't read my own handwriting. The Dread Descendant, Fairy Hollow Heathens, the Mind F series, Slewfoot, Blood and Budahas. I cannot say that word correctly. Please do not judge me. Lady of Darkness. For the Everend subscription, I have 2 books for sure. Then I'm going to audiobook these ones. That is The Possession of Alba Diaz, and then Caught Up. As for the books that I intend on buying and their release dates, Wrath of the Fallen, that comes out October 28th. Isle in the Silver Sea, that comes out October 21st. Among the Burning Flowers, September 16th. Alchemist comes out September 30th. And then Mate by Ali Hazelwood comes out October 7th. But yeah, so without further ado, let's go ahead and start working on this tbrjar jar and see what happens. This is why I don't paint anymore. My hands are one of my biggest pain points, unfortunately, so crafting is not a common occurrence for me anymore because I just don't know what to do. Anyways, let's hope I can get this ribbon in. Book recommendation session. So these are my fall book recommendations. Babel by R.F. Kuang, my favorite author, my favorite book. So the story follows this boy named Robin. He is from Canton. Robin is taken in by this professor when his mother dies. He is sent away over to England to study linguistics and eventually become a linguistic student in Babel, which is like a building in Oxford. In his class, there are 3 other students who come in as well. They all speak different languages. Remy comes from India, Victoire comes from Haiti, and then there's Letty, who comes from England but speaks a different language. By the way, this is set in 1836, so it touches base on racism in academia, how linguistics was used as a weapon while colonizing other countries. They have this idea that like they're the smartest, they're the best, like we're known to spread knowledge, but basically Robin and his group of friends find out that Babel is not trying to spread knowledge, they're trying to use knowledge as a weapon, and they are the people they want to make basically their weapons, which are like these silver bars. It is tragic, it is beautiful, and it is such a great new fresh perspective on a different side of colonization that is not just based off of religion and politics. I mean, there's politics in here as well, but linguistics is like the center point of the story. Next on the list is A Dowry of Blood. This is a vampire book. It is told by the perspective of Dracula's wife, Constana. There's a polyamorous relationship in here, but it also is not just about that. Told in second person point of view of Constana explaining why they've made these certain decisions against Dracula. And I don't want to say any spoilers, but it kind of makes sense as you get to the end why it's being written the way that it's being written. Highly recommend. And then we have the Book of Azrael. I love this series. So fun fact, inside story, I started this book like 3 times at least. The first time I was reading the second book in the From Blood and Ash series, so my brain was just super focused on that one and that series, and trying to start a different one at the same time was just not a good idea. I tried this again later on and I was like, okay, this is good, but I think I want to read it physically. So I got the physical book and I'm so glad I did, because I devoured this thing. It is so good. And the 4th book is coming out in October. That is the Wrath of the Fallen book that I mentioned earlier. It's such a great romantasy. There's a girl named Diana, and she is like this shifter of sorts. Like she can shift into a dragon and to other people and things like that. It's really cool. She is very protective of the sister that she has, and she's basically traded her soul to this evil dude. I hate him with every fiber of my being, trying to get their hands on the Book of Azrael. It is a great old actual enemies to lovers. There's so much more to this that I want to say, but I can't because I don't want to give away spoilers. But if you're in the mood for a great romantasy where she's the one who's very protective of him and he's like the good guy and she's like the bad one, highly recommend this series. It's really fun and it's very bingeable. Next up is my latest obsession, Bury Your Bones in the Midnight Soil. Here's the thing. I was actually not a fan of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I rated that book like 2.75 stars, I think. Bury Your Bones in the Midnight Soil goes over different perspectives and different timelines and shows you how they all interconnect with just one singular person. And it is, in short form, toxic lesbian vampires. The thing that I love the most about this book is how it goes into that toxic aspect of vampirism. So for example, this main girl, I'm not going to say names because there's a lot to it. I don't want to say spoilers, but for example, there's this girl who she always craves for more. She is constantly hungry for literally everything. Like she's just hungry for a better life, and she is such a master manipulator already before she's turned into a vampire. And then we see the progress of her becoming a vampire, and once she becomes a vampire, it gets worse and she destroys people's lives, and we watch her destroy people's lives through this book. I know it's a long one, but I actually recommend listening to an audiobook because, oh my god, girl, I'm so sorry I forgot your name, but the voice actress by In Arcane, she voices this character. And last but certainly not least is the Locked Tomb series. I'm just holding the first book in my hand. It is Gideon the Ninth. Then there's Hera the Ninth and Nona the Ninth. They're supposed to be Electa the Ninth, There's still no word for when Electa the Ninth is coming out, and it is stressing me out. But the Log Tomb series has a lot of Catholic, I don't know why I said it like that, Catholic elements, and the consequences of running away from your own actions. You cannot run away from it. You cannot escape it. It will haunt you down until you face it head on. It is a gothic sci-fi lesbian necromancers in space. First book starts off with Gideon. So she is trying to escape the ninth house, which there are different houses, which are like different planets, and they all serve their emperor, like their god, basically. They're all different types of necromancers. So the ninth house specifies in bones, and Gideon is trying to escape, and she gets caught by Harrow, who is the reverend daughter of the ninth house. And Harrow's like, listen, I have a note from the emperor. I need you to come listen to the note with me. Gideon is like, I don't want to. She goes, she listens to the note. Basically, the emperor is saying, I need more lictors. Lictors are necromancers who ascend into immortality to continue serving the emperor as like his right-hand men. So Gideon is basically pushed into becoming a cavalier and has to train as a cavalier, which is their bodyguard to the necromancer. This series is so genuinely confusing, but that's what makes it fun, because we're not supposed to know everything. What she knows, we know, and she's not a great source for information. It just gets more confusing, and again, tragic but beautiful, and I need Electo to come out within the next year or I will go crazy. That's it for now. I'm going to do a little bit of reading before I head out and do some browsing, but I will see you in a second. Wrap up the video here. I went to not the places I was thinking about going to because I just didn't have time. That's really it. I was eating and then my brain was playing tricks on me, and then it was just like, then I got out and I was just rushing through basically. I did get to take my time in Booksmelling though, so that's what matters. Over at Michael's, they had a really good selection of like different, but you can imagine over at Michael's for Halloween, to be honest. I grabbed the bone candle that I really wanted to get. It was like 40% off. Literally fighting for my life to not pick up that Chucky. What was the other thing as well that I was also fighting for my life on? It was like another $7 scented candle that seemed really nice, but didn't grab that because I was really trying to stick to what I intended to purchase today and not overdo it or anything like that. Okay, so I also went to Spirit Halloween. It was pretty busy in there as well. Usually I have like t-shirts and stuff, but I could not find any of those t-shirts in there, and was looking at like the Chucky sweater and stuff and was really close to buying that as well, but I was like, I gotta walk away, I gotta walk out of the store, or else I'm coming home with like a Freddy Krueger and a Chucky jacket. Then went into the bookstore. I purchased Bride by Ali Hazelwood. That was the like werewolf book that I was talking about earlier. I thought a good little introduction back into the werewolf genre would be reading something by an author that I love. Also has vampires in there because, again, love vampires, are my favorite. Then I saw the Jade City, like the new Jade City book. What was it called? What is it called? The new Jade City cover. And I want to now go home and see if I wrote down in any of the like Greenbone Saga books that I have, because if I didn't, then I can go ahead and sell them and then come back and purchase the new covers. I also love this series a lot, so if it was just a series that I was like, oh, that one's good, like it's not bad or whatever, I wouldn't want to do all those things. It's literally just because that series is a 5-star series for me. Oh, also the new Fairy Tale book, I saw that, and it's now traditionally published, so like the cover's different, and I really like the artwork on the first book. I like the artwork on the second book, but I like the one in the first book more. I just wish that it was built like that new book that is out there now, because before it was like literally such a brick that I was just like, I'm not reading that. I'm going to not just break this spine, I'm going to ruin that spine trying to read it, especially with like the little tiny font. It was just driving me crazy. The font is a little bit bigger. I'm probably just going to read that on my Kindle. Yeah, but that's it. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I hope your next book is a 5-star read. And yeah, so I will see you later.